Kia ora. Hi, welcome Aries to your May 2016 Taroscope reading with me. Yes, I know guys, you have had to wait for a while, but that's just how the universe has delivered things for this month. So congratulations for your ability to have some patience, because as an Aries myself, and it's my birthday today, I know that I have very little patience with most things in life. So I've been as intrigued as yourselves to see what the future holds for us for May. So if you've watched any of the other readings for the month, checked out your rising signs or your ascendants or moon signs, you will know that we are using this Rider-Waite deck. Some of you really love it. It's not my favourite deck because I'm more impassioned about some of the more in-depth synchronicities and messages we can achieve from some of the other decks. But that aside, this was probably one of the most well-known and early used tarots, so it does have pretty good intrinsic in-depth messages. What I'm going to do is stick to the meaning of the original, basically the original card messages, and not deviate too much from any of their main messages. Each card is going to represent basically a day and a half in the month, so it's quite an in-depth reading. So let's stop here and pull for you and see what your messages are going to be. The Hierophant. That is your first week in May. Second week. Third. Fourth. Okay, I think these cards are more or less fitting in. Might just move everything up a little bit. And maybe pull my camera lens back a bit. Okay, so quite a nice looking reading here. Looking through the camera lens, I see a little bit of blue coming through, but I see a lot of yellow down here towards the end of May. Blue is 5 major arcanas, an ace, 1, 2, 3 court cards. So really looking like quite a nice reading here, Aries. Certainly you've got some nice major arcanas. This one, they're quite nice to have in your reading. Let's start at the very top left hand corner with the Hierophant. Now this, at the beginning of May, as you walk into May, almost feels as if there's some sort of restriction around you. The Hierophant holds his hand up as if to say no, stop and rethink, or take things carefully and seriously into consideration. He's often considered the philosophical or spiritual teacher as well, so there can be a spirituality involved in this. It might be that you are challenging your own belief systems or falling into the pattern of a belief philosophy such as a religion. He does have a religious kind of perspective about him. He also kind of tends to dictate or maintain ethics in life. So when he's around, it's about being ethical and moral and upright and, you know, fitting into society's rules. So he's the opposite of breaking free, such as the Fool. He's more about tradition. Now if we come to your next card, the 7 of Pentacles there, he, again, I quite like him, even though he looks a bit dour and, you know, boring. He's not, because he is the symbolism of the accumulation of your efforts over time. He is looking at what he has garnished and gathered into a pile, and often this is from the materialistic perspective or the financial sector or your career. So it's your potential energy to have looked after yourself well and to have gleaned a certain amount of fortitude in those areas of material manifestation. So it's a good card to have. It bodes fairly well for finances, suggesting that at this point in time the finances should be quite steady, and if you've been making investments, these may show an increment along the way. You've got 2 7s in a row. They do tend to emulate each other or give it you know, a double kind of meaning. Although these two cards in particular are the opposite. So I think it would pay to just go back to the overall message or energy of the number 7, which is quite often a cathartic energy number. It's very spiritual, so it's coming back into the spiritual feeling from here. And it's often about spending time alone within your own thoughts and trying to find out your feelings and desires and dreams as you head forward. But coming back to this card, the 7 of Cups, what it suggests is there may be a lot of offers around you at the moment. And some of these offers will not be the right ones for you to uplift. So it suggests that you check very carefully what you are going to get yourself involved with, especially if you are thinking of signing any documents, or there are any legal activities, or you're thinking of purchasing something new. Don't get suckered into quick get-rich schemes or something that sounds too good to be true, because they won't be good. The other thing is, it could even be temptations of lots of potential partners or possibilities around you, you know, suitors or people who are showing interest in you and wanting your attention. Again, only some of them are going to be the right ones, so make your selections carefully. We come to Temperance right next to it, and Temperance to me sort of invokes that whole message. It's about tempering things in your life. That first week in May, up here, this top week, seems to have very much a moderated feeling to it, as if the restraints are on and the restrictions are on. And for you, Aries, if you're like me, it's really hard to be restricted or restrained. I'm quite the wild child type energy, and I hate being put into a box, and I feel quite claustrophobic when that happens to me. So the first week I could find a little bit stifling, and maybe a lot of you other Aries might as well. But often when that happens, it allows us to slow down, re-contemplate our directions, take into consideration other possibilities, and temper everything out and balance it out. Also, this card, Temperance, suggests temper your energies, your moods, your emotions, your hormones, your physical body, the things you take into your body, your diet, and also what you put out. So if you need to take time out to rest or sleep, do so. If you need to take time out for a new regime or health modality, do so. It's all about a little bit of everything makes us balanced. Now we come down to the second row, and the first card on the left is the Emperor, and that's known as the Aries card. So oftentimes this card suggests the time frame of the Aries astrological period, which is basically mid-March to mid-April. So this card could suggest that something you started in that time frame is coming to fruition or starting to empower itself now with more energy. Or it could suggest that there is a person around like this. It could be a new suitor for some of you, or someone in your life. He's quite dictatorial, authoritarian, knowledgeable. He can be a legal person, someone even like a lawyer or a judge, or someone with that type of energy. He is most likely there to support you one way or another, or it could even be yourself exuding this type of Aryan energy. The next card, the Nine of Wands, suggests that some of you may feel as though you've been going through quite a heavy load, as if you've had a lot on your shoulders and you have been ploughing through, especially feeling as though you've needed to protect yourself or fight your cause, and like there have been too many opposition opponents around. It tells us that this is not completely over, but you are making headway. Oh, excuse me, I said 9. It's actually the 10, of course. And the 10s are about endings of cycles. There's the 9 down there. Sorry. The 10 is about ending of cycles. So know that this turbulence or protuberance or annoyance or frustration is coming to an end, and that really you have gathered them all up quite well, and you're dealing to them in priority and in order, and that as you move forward, you've got control over the situation. So don't give up. It's about keeping going. Page of Cups next to you, or next to this one, the offer of something warm and special, heart-oriented. It can be a water sign person coming in, and again it can be a romantic liaison or offering. Usually is a slightly younger person. This could also be someone in your household or your family, friends that you feel a dear connection to, and they may be either having an input one way or they're around that week and they get your attention and they're part of your life. The Star card for the end of the second week, one of the truly most benevolent cards in the entire deck. The Star card is almost as if you have guardian angels looking over you, that you have extra helpers from the spirit world, either angelic or spirit guides or some sort of prophetic gift of being able to help support you and care for you, nurture you and protect you. And they are often, to me, from the spirit realm. The Star again talks about new beginnings, the birth of new things, that it's very universal, that it's coming from this amazing source. It's like a powerful energy that can't be stopped. It's usually very, very positive. Yes, it can denote change and growth and luminosity and awareness, and sometimes those things do create a little bit of tension because they are encouraging us to move forth into new realms. But a wonderful, wonderful card to have. The beginning of the third week, this 9 of Wands. I said to you up here that this hadn't necessarily finished yet. You still have some work to go, and it still feels as if some of this is around you. Other people being a little bit petulant and determined that they are not necessarily wrong and that they want their 2 cents worth and they're in on the picture. Again, and this can be to do with career or work, because often the wands are associated with the creative forces in life and also with our careers. So just don't give up. That's the message in the reading. Remain strong. Set your Aries fire energy into power and passion, but don't overdo it, because I know when we do that things can go awry as well. Just be strong and emanate your strength, and you can overcome, hurdles at the deepest level. And right next to it is the Ace of Wands. These three are very connected here, and he may even play a part in this whole situation. The Ace of Wands is again about new creativity. It's a wonderful card. It's not as bright and shiny as the Star, but it's also an excellent one. Opportunities coming to you through the thought, through new paradigms, through offers. Some of you could have applied for new jobs or promotions within your workplace, or starting your own business. This is all when these things could just spark up and take action and take flight. Wonderful cards, the aces. They are the antithesis of new energies and new beginnings. You have to catch on to them, and you have to be open, and you have to be creative when they are around. But once you catch that energy and fire yourself up, there is almost no stopping these new projects that can take shape. The Two of Wands he's looking over here to this one, so it's definitely associated, I think, with career or business opportunities or creative ideas around you. You're really looking out at expansion and expanding where you are, and you're almost turning your back on previous situations or places of being in your work that have perhaps kept you in one spot or one direction. You are growing and moving out, and it could be quite large movements and further afield. But remember to remain balanced. The twos are often about creating balance, which you've had this message up here as well. So don't get yourself out of balance and don't rush forward. Take everything into consideration and everything into the picture when you do this. The Chariot, another wonderful, powerful major arcana card. Again, this is about passion, strength, creativity, movement forward, inner strength, courage, tenacity. It's also a very spiritual card as well, because you've got quite a lot of spirituality going on in the month. This, the religious side of it over here. You've got an angel come down from the heavens here. You've got universal energy up here. This again is quite a universal sky star type energy. We've got the moons in here as well. So I'm thinking back to the eclipses in March. They will have a part to play in this whole movement and carry on and energy that you're participating in and activating. We have polar opposites in life, the night and day, the black and white, the male and female, yin and yang, your spirituality, your physicality. So you're dealing with the two sides of your personality, if you like, the parts that you might be hiding as well. You need to learn to really balance them and bring them into harmony, and it will make you even stronger. This card can also be about travel, literally. It can be by road or by car, and it can be also about new cars. It can also be about shifting homes or properties and buying new properties. So we come to the bottom 4 cards of the reading. We have here the Knight of Swords. I think he's been in almost every reading for this May month. There's something about young Aquarian energy around the planet. Is it because we're slowly moving into this age of Aquarius? I have no idea, but for all the young Aquarians on the planet, I think they are speaking up more. They're becoming more unique and individual, and often Aquarians have this way of being quite strong with their words and their ideas and forthright energy. He's bolting on in here, but he's definitely heading out in quite a hurry as well. So he might stir something up, get something activated. Sometimes there can even be a little bit of just tense energy when he's around. Again, he might be a new suitor or someone within your family, often still in this youngish time phase of life, so sort of 20s or something, 20s to 30s, I guess, and fired up about life and action and where to go and what direction. But it seems as though he's heading out. So whether or not he's leaving, so there might be an Aquarian, not necessarily Aquarian, I'm sorry for saying that, it could be any air sign. Whether or not they're leaving the scene, they might be moving away, going on a trip overseas. There could be something along those lines as well. The Queen of Pentacles. She exudes warmth and harmony, good health, happiness, home life, finances, great stability. If she's a friend that you have, she's a wonderful person to have in your life. You can, go and talk to her. And she gives you strength, that inner strength that the earth signs have. They're quite formidable but strong, and their presence is gentle usually, with some solidness and calmness about them. She could be a friend of yours or someone who's coming into your life one way or another. She could even be a potential new partner, whether it's business or work or employment operated. But she's a great person to have around. Oh, we get here and we see the 7 again. You've got the 3 sevens in this reading. So your 7s are playing a bit of a part. Oh, 4, because there's another 7. That's pretty powerful. I mentioned to you before, I had really realized we had all these 7s down here, that 7 was quite significant for you. So again, just focus on that energy and see where your thoughts and feelings take you in direction of that. I probably dislike this card as much as this one. These two have more in common than these ones do. It tells you to be wary of people around you at the moment. Don't trust everyone, because there are some people in your camp that are not being honest, and they're not going to do you any service. There can even be a little bit of back-chatting or lies or backstabbing going on. So don't get involved in gossip at this stage. Give that a miss, a wide berth. Tread carefully. Don't tell people your innermost thoughts at this time, or say the wrong things to the wrong people. So that's the basic message of that card. Just be really careful about who you trust and what you sign and personal information you give over. Keep your bank details to yourself. Don't go loaning things out to people like money or your car or anything else. You may not get them back at this particular point in time. It can also be about yourself making decisions that you could be thinking, should I be doing this? Is this good for me? And it might be a little bit hidden and underhand. And if it is, you need to think really carefully about it. Is it the right thing to be doing? But we come to this wonderful last card. Again, another fabulous card, the 9 of Cups. Great way for you to end your reading. I'm happy about that. that is the wish card, of course, and the wish card is kind of like the universe saying to you, whatever you desire at this point in time, I'm prepared to make opportunities for it to happen. Remember to pick the good things in life. Don't go for the wrong choices or the wrong things, because we can so easily do that when we get caught up in a moment of passion or power, or feeling as though we're immortal. The reality is we're not, and we do have to make the right choices. But when this card is here, the universe is saying, oh, you know, I'm going to hand you something on a plate. So what you've been either trying to achieve, or projects you've had on your mind, or desires or heart passions, or anything that you really want in life, take this opportunity now, push through with it, and you have a better opportunity or chance for it to move forward with greater promise of a positive outcome. So there you are, Aries. I think it is a great reading. It's a really nice reading. You've got some perfectly wonderful cards in there. They fall in nice positions. They've got kind of good cards next door to them. There's just this number 7 that you have to think about, and think about the ramifications of any negativity surrounding it. So thank you all for tuning in. I really love doing these readings for you. It is a privilege and an honour indeed. So wishing you all the very best. Ka kite anoa, much aroha, namaste.